What is one country that you will never visit? Myanmar. Spent my pre-adolescence there during the previous rule of the junta. When Suu Kyi was in house arrest, I cannot begin to explain the fear that was present in everyday life there then. My father had to be at Yangon for some pretty run-of-the-mill corporate work and was nonetheless always on alert. As of the 11th of October, 12-year-old, I was not allowed to answer telephones, lest I reveal something that might seem problematic to the administration, even in an atmosphere that you were on the brink of rubbing law enforcement the wrong way. My most memorable moments were brushes with the younger adult neighbors in our apartment who were running an illegal computer training center. I cannot imagine their lives now, suspended in constant agitation. I live in Venezuela, and if I manage to leave Venezuela, I won't come to visit Sudan, either of them. Somalia. Haiti. As much as I'd love to visit my mother's home country, there's a reason even my mother hasn't gone back since the early Haiti continually gets fucked by political unrest, economic upheaval, and ecological turmoil, combined with the fact that our last living relative that was still there died back in 2005. We have no connection to that place anymore. I sincerely, emphatically hope things get better, because one day I would love to connect with that part of my heritage. But not now. And probably not within the next 10 years. Either. Syria is such a bed of history, cities that are ancient that I'd love to see for myself, but sadly just wouldn't be safe, I think, for a long time. What historical mystery is unlikely to ever be solved? The exact burial site of Genghis Khan. My neighbor killed his whole family, buried them in his house, then went for a trip. Nobody knows if he's dead or hiding somewhere, and if so, where. The police kind of screwed up the start of the investigation, so he had a good head start on them. His name is, or maybe was, Xavier Dupont de Ligons. https en.wikipedia.org/wiki/DuPont_de_Ligon%C3%A8S_murders_and_disappearance. And he was since then featured in multiple TV shows and books. One of Australia's prime ministers just disappeared when he went for a swim in the ocean. So probably that. Mystery of the Somerton Man, also known as the Tamam Shud case. Whether Frank Morris, John Anglin, and his brother Clarence Anglin survived their escape from Alcatraz Federal Prison. Whatever happened to the Sodder children? Who's a hot celebrity that you personally have just never found attractive? Remember when Blake Shelton was named sexiest man alive and literally not a single person agreed? All these TikTok boys with their noodle TikTok hair. Adam Levine. He looks like a Chipotle bag when he's shirtless. Kylie Jenner. Jared Leto. That guy is creepy. If you're saying Hilary Swank is not hot, that mean I'm not hot, because obviously I'm not as hot as Hilary Swank. What's your holy crap that's interesting fact? In the time it takes you to read this sentence, you've traveled approximately 2,200 miles through space relative to the cosmic background radiation. The sun is extremely loud. We just can't hear it because sound can't travel through the vacuum of space. Splinter-free toilet paper was invented in 1935. Which means before that, toilet paper had splinters. Fucking ouch. If you're within vicinity of a fallen power line, bunny hop or slide your feet side to side to get away from the pole. This is to counteract step potential, as lifting your feet off the ground will cause a difference in voltage, causing an electrocution. Woodpeckers' tongues wrap around their skulls to prevent them getting concussions. Most people know that dogs have a really good sense of smell. But I recently did some research into the full extent of it. 40% of the brain goes entirely to their sense of smell. They have a completely different organ that is designed purely to take in the smell, separately from the oxygen they breathe. Unlike humans, we process it together. To put this into perspective, we can taste a teaspoon of sugar in our coffee. They could smell a teaspoon of sugar inside 2 Olympic-sized swimming pools. A cancer alert dog kept marking to one mole on a woman's arm. They had already tested it and it was negative. They decided to retest due to the dog's behavior, and found an incredibly small fraction of a cancer cell in the spot. What is the weirdest thing people older than you do in chat language? My mother ends everything with an exclamation point. I have no idea why. It makes her sound incredibly excited about asking me to let the dogs in, or tell me about the weather. My mum uses wink emoji when inviting people over, winking face. My uncle sent middle finger, wishing me luck for my trip. He meant thumbs up. Signing each message, no matter how short, i.e., sincerely, Raymond Holt. Adding emojis for nouns after saying them. Hi. I saw a really nice cat grinning cat today. And it was eating some chicken. Say hi to your mum woman for me. Quote dot. Put a dot at the end of each word. My dad and my grandma do that, like where are you? What's the most terrifying sentence in the human language? Save file corrupted. You might want to get your legal affairs in order. Rabies has gone airborne. There's been an accident. Where is the baby? We need to talk. Let's take a seat. What should society stop normalizing? The disregard for sleep. Celebrities getting too much publicity, especially during their private lives. Schools punishing both victim and culprit, and the education system that was created more than a century ago. Facetooning influencers who make money preaching self-love. Burning yourself out. Treating politicians, presidential candidates as heroes, or stop deifying them. It's cringe and completely backwards. You're not supposed to worship them. They work for you. What is a conversation people are having today that would be ridiculous 10 years ago? What did you do in quarantine? Tilda going to the bank for a withdrawal. Tilda don't forget to wear a mask. Did you see that Bill Cosby got released from prison? Yo, you should buy this picture online. I don't want to catch a deadly disease. So I'm going to have a stranger bring me food from a restaurant he doesn't actually work at without actually talking to him or the restaurant itself. Paying for a numbered copy of a video clip that's available on YouTube for free. What's a scary fact you know about the ocean? The Corrie Vrecken maelstrom in Scotland is a permanent whirlpool that is the third strongest in the world. It can produce 15 feet high standing waves. If you pass a certain level underwater, you can no longer float to the surface. You have to use all your strength to swim back up, which can use up too much oxygen and suffocate. Not scary, but the Pacific is that deep that it hides most of the world's tallest mountain. A tiger shark can be as long as 18 feet. Greenland sharks can live to be 500 years old, just lurking and swimming and doing sharky things for 500 years. At its deepest, Challenger Deep in the Mariana Trench, you could fit Mt. Everest and still have close to 10,000 feet of water between it and the surface. Bull sharks live in the ocean and rivers. That's a scary fact. Another thing about bull sharks. A human male has a testosterone level between approximately 15 to 40. Bull sharks exceed over 900 and have the highest amount of testosterone of any animal in the animal kingdom. Brought to my attention that the information striked out is incorrect, thanks. Shark Week. The ocean at night is probably the scariest thing I can think of. It's pitch black. You can't see anything. But most all of it can see you. In fact, there's plenty of predators that prefer to do their hunting at night. That's scary to me and why I don't swim at night. Among other things.
Subscribe, my brothers.